You're going to have to excuse my disheveled look, like my hair and everything. There's currently a heat wave going through the UK again. But I realized as I was editing my video that I didn't film an outro, like a proper outro or intro at all. And it's mainly just because this was supposed to be a book haul and my August TBR in like one video, but it was too long, so I had to split it into two, with one being my book haul and the other being the TBR. But I was going to do my August TBR first, and then I changed my mind, so I had to refilm what I had considered my intro, just because I kept saying that I was going to post my book haul later on, which I obviously aren't. But yeah, sorry about all the confusion, and if it's cut really weirdly or, you know, edited really weirdly, it's just because I really didn't refilm anything, and I didn't even think about doing that until now, which is a bit too late, so yeah. But I hope you enjoy the video. I usually would be starting with my TBR, but seeing as some of the books that came in the mail recently are like part of my TBR for this month, I decided I'm gonna switch those two around, so let's get to it. The first technically kind of book that I got recently was the Penguin Classics Marvel edition of Black Panther. They've done one for Captain America and Spider-Man, which look really good, but I really wanted to get the Black Panther one. It comes with gorgeous, like, you can't really tell on the camera, but these are like gold sprayed edges all around, and it just looks so gorgeous in like person. There's like a panel on the back as well, kind of a glossy gold look, as well as the cover, and it's all in like a nice matte black. And this is some of the art on the inside of the comic, and then you've got like a little introduction, I'm assuming written by, well, I'm not sure who's written by, and then it shows like all the first Black Panther comics from like the 70s going on to the early 80s, which is really cool, and I really want to read this soon. I'm not sure when, probably before Black Panther Wakanda Forever comes out this November. I'll be watching that with my brother because it comes out on his birthday, but I'm really excited to read this, and I'm so happy I got it. Getting all the graphic novels and comics out the way, I also got Fence Volume 1. I read all 4 volumes last year. They were some of the first few books I read in 2021, and I really enjoyed this series, and I thought I might as well buy it since I wanted to get like the stamps, since I was buying another book for my friend, and having a bookseller's discount means it's harder to get even just half a stamp. So I finally have a physical copy of it, and I'm definitely going to reread it soon. I miss all these characters so much, and I think volume 5 is coming out sometime this year, so I might get volumes 2 to 4 in the meantime. But this was the other book that other comic that I got recently in the mail. As you will have seen in my July wrap-up, I got 4 Aunties and a Wedding. This was actually gifted to me by the publishers. I'm assuming after they saw me tweeting and posting on my Instagram account how much I loved the first book. So they sent this to me, and I read it immediately at the end of July, and yeah, this was another book that I got, and it was really surprising because I hadn't expected to be sent a copy. It's not like I even requested it, so yeah. Then the other day when I was at work, I saw that we had copies of Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma, and I've heard nothing but great things about this book. It sounds so fun, and I've been in such a massive like romance mood for like the past year and a half, so I thought I might as well buy this now, especially with the discount, because I don't want to buy too many books when I'm in America. I have a long list of books, and I'm actually already worried about how I'm going to bring those back. So I had to buy this as soon as I could, and I think I'm going to be reading this in August actually. Next was a book that I hadn't planned on buying anytime soon, like maybe I would have bought it at some point at the end of the year or sometime next year, but it's You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. The American title is People We Meet on Vacation, and I caved. I just couldn't stop reading it anytime I had free time, like during my breaks at work. So I just ended up buying it because I didn't want to have to wait until like the 21st or something of August to buy it. And yeah, I'm actually glad I bought it, and you'll see why in a bit. But this was one of the other books that I bought this month, well, recently. As well as You and Me on Vacation, I ended up buying Carmilla by Sheridan. Well, I'm not going to try and pronounce that because I'm going to embarrass myself. But this actually came out 27 years before Dracula, as in the classic novel Dracula, and it's said to have inspired that novel, and I just had to pick it up. Like, one of my co-workers bought it recently and she hasn't had time to read it, but I caved and I bought it just because why not. It's a nice short book. I was thinking of reading it in August, but since it's a vampire book, I know it seems a bit stupid because I read the entire Vampire Academy books in July and I'm planning to read the spin-off series soon. I think I'd prefer to read this in October or something during the winter season, or like autumn season, when I actually finally pick up A Dowry of Blood. Like, I haven't got past the first page, and that's nothing to do with the book, it's just that I was in a reading slump around the time that I got that book last year, so I'll be looking forward to reading these like short vampire novels. The next book was a bit of an impulse buy. I'd just seen it on the shelf and I thought, why not? And it's The Penguin Book of Dragons. I had never seen this book before, but like, first of all, the cover just caught me instantly. It's so beautiful, I love it. But also it just like, it mentions 2000 years of legend and lore about the menace and majesty of dragons, which have breathed fire into our imaginations from ancient Rome to Game of Thrones. Two things that I love. Ancient Rome, like, I'm a massive classics nerd. Like, it was my favorite subject during secondary school, like when I was doing my A-levels, and it's what I'm going to be studying in uni. And Game of Thrones, if you know me, then you know that I loved the books. The show I enjoyed up to a certain point, and then the last season just ruined it all for me. But it didn't change my love for dragons, so I had to pick this book up. Like, I'm just really interested to see what it's about. Like, I think it's got passages from books or like historical texts about dragons and like myths, so, and it's from all over the world as well, it's not just Europe, so I'm really interested in reading this. The next two books I think might actually be the last books that I bought recently, and they're the first two books in the Bloodline series, which is the Vampire Academy spin-off series. I have to say, I'm not a fan of the covers, at least with the Vampire Academy books. You can't really tell their faces are there, especially with the massive V like covering it, and then the lighting is very dark, so you can't really tell, but these are very in your face, so I'm probably going to avoid reading this in public. That's a lie, I probably won't, but yeah, I couldn't find the third book in any nearby store, so I just bought these two and I'm really excited to read it because I am an absolute, like, I'm just absolutely obsessed with the Vampire Academy like world at this point, so I think these are definitely going to be in my August TBR. The next book was an arc that I'd requested from work about 2 weeks ago, and it's Husband Material by Alexis Hall. I read the first book, Boyfriend Material, about, I think, like the end of 2020, like December 2020, or like the start of January 2021, and I really enjoyed that book. So when I found out there was a sequel, I was really looking forward to it, and then I saw that it was up for request in the UK, which was a bit surprising because I didn't know they were offering us arcs for this book. I thought it was just for America and Canada, but guess not. I'm really excited to read this book. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, this was another book that came recently, and this one I did not pay for. That same day I'd actually received another arc, or at least it was there waiting for me when I got to work, and it's R.F. Kuang's Yellowface. I think it's her literary novel, if I'm saying that right, or like, I'm not sure if that's the genre exactly, but I'd requested it through Harper Insider, and I wasn't sure if they would send me one because I thought I was too late, but I went into work on Saturday and I saw that they'd sent me one. It was such a lovely surprise, and it just sounds so interesting. Like, at the back it says, "What would you steal for success? Her ideas, her stories, her name, her skin," which sounds very cool. But yeah, I think I'm really going to enjoy this book. It comes out in May next year, which is my birthday month. Love that for me. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to put off reading this for a bit just because I do have quite a few books I need to get through, but based off the vibe I'm getting from this book, I might read it sometime like in autumn this year. I don't want to leave it till last, plus like I actually really do want to read this, so why would I leave it for that long? But I'm really excited to read this. I also forgot to mention that Husband Material comes out August 2nd, which is actually today as I'm filming this. It should be out now, but they only just sent me this book, so it's not my fault I haven't got a review up already. And the last book that I recently received was one that I think came in the mail probably half an hour ago. I'd left the house for like 10-15 minutes to quickly do something around the corner shop. And then when I got home, I saw I'd been sent a copy of Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think it's from when I ordered it through work. I'm not 100% sure just because there was no note. But that's what I'm going to assume because I did request it. And I'm really excited to read it just because I do have Evelyn Hugo and Malibu Rising. I just haven't had the time to, well, I have started Evelyn Hugo, I just never finished it because everyone's always sad about the book and I'm not really in the mood to be sad whilst reading. But this one, whilst it probably is going to be an emotional read, I don't think it's going to make me cry. Plus it just seems like a really fun book and I love books about sports. So I definitely think I'm going to enjoy this one. It comes out August 30th, 2022, so you know, keep your eyes out if you're looking forward to reading this book. But yeah, this is the last book I was gifted and just the last book in my entire book haul. I don't think these will all show on camera, but oh, oh, Jesus Christ. These are all the books that I got in the mail recently in the past like 2-3 weeks. Well, really just 2 weeks. Which sounds bad, but to be fair, it's not like I've just bought them and not read them. Some I've read, so it's worth the purchase. The camera's a bit further away just because I had to make some adjustments, so sorry if it's a bit jarring that I've moved backwards. Now that the book haul's out the way, we can move on to the bookish merch that I got. If you follow my Instagram, then you'll know that I'm a rep for a bookish/bookmark company. At least it started off as a independent bookmark company called Chillbeatss, and I recently got my new rep package as well as some of the old stuff that had got lost on its way a couple months ago, so I thought why not do a little unboxing for you guys here. So first I'm going to show off the bookmarks that came. Some of these are matte or shiny or bookish themed, whereas they're all a bit different. Some have like books they're inspired by, or they're just themes, and some are sparkly and matte and some just aren't. But the first one is this really cute sunflower inspired, well, sunflower and bee inspired bookmark. It's kind of like a mashup of the Be Kind bookmark and the sunflower, just the single sunflower design that is available on the website. The next one is the Poppy War inspired bookmark, which is one of my favourite book series ever, although it did emotionally damage me. I'm not sure if it's showing up clearly on camera, but it says, "War doesn't determine who's right, war determines who remains." And if that doesn't set the tone for the series, then I don't know what does. Next is one inspired by The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. As you can see, it matches one of the UK editions that they had for this book, and it says, "Never pray to the gods that answer after dark," which is one of the first lines in that book. Next we have one inspired by Hollow Heathens, which is a book I've never read, but I had heard, you know, around a couple of times. And the quote says, "Yet still I fell in love with the moon," which sounds absolutely lovely. I've tried showing this on camera, but it's refusing to focus on the quote, but this, you can vaguely see what the bookmark looks like. Next are some of the bookish, like themed inspired bookmarks from the newer release, and we've got two for gothic horror. One in a sort of dark brown shade, which is absolutely stunning. As you can see, it's very shiny, and these are all matte bookmarks. And we've got one in a purple to match it. I've been using these for my Vampire Academy readathon essentially that I was doing, and they worked so well with the books, and I just love how they shine. The dark brown has a more gold shine, whereas the purple has a silver instead. And then we have a crime one and a sort of sci-fi one inspired with a little astronaut out in space, and again these are also matte and shiny, well, sparkly, which I love. I haven't had the chance to use these two bookmarks yet, but I look forward to being able to soon. We also have the Romantasy, which is the romance/fantasy inspired bookmark, and the, I believe, just the fantasy bookmarks. I've had them back to back just because as I'll show you in a minute, I've been putting them in this really cute sleeve that is now available to buy on the Title Piece website. But this is the Romantasy one with golden sparkles and hearts and daggers. I'm not sure if it's focused. Yes, there we go. And the Fantasy one, which I just absolutely adore. And this has silver sparkles to match the blue. But these two are some of my favourite ones from the shop. Then speeding through, we have two inspired by the Song of Achilles, which is one of my absolute favourite books ever. And one of them is just statues, whereas the other has an actual quote saying, "He is half of my soul, as the poets say." Doesn't that just break your heart? Then the next one is inspired by the Atlas 6. If you couldn't tell by the way it matches the, I believe it matches the new, yes, the new cover, and I think it like shows it so well. I actually prefer this than the actual book cover, I have to say. Yeah, it's like a matte with like gorgeous gold foiling all over it. There's no quote, but honestly it doesn't need one. Then we have a cute purple butterfly bookmark, which doesn't have a quote, but I think it's just a lovely one to have, especially for contemporary novels. This is really cute. Then the last two are a sort of spring inspired bookmark. This one is just a regular watercolor design with leaves on it. And this one has gold foiling all over it, which I absolutely adore. Isn't that beautiful? And they're kind of matching as well. I love these two. Haven't had the chance to use this one yet, but I have used this already. The mail also came with these really cute sort of avatar stickers of like a little dragon reading a book. Little blue dragon, as you can see there. Then a cat snuggling up with a book, if it wants to focus. There we go. And a cat stretching with a pile of books underneath it, the same cat. I think these are really cute. I haven't had the chance to use them, and I'm not sure how I will, but I will at some point. My camera died, but as I was saying, I have the Romance Reader and Magical Reader stickers, which I've placed inside my iPad case, and I'll take them out in just a second. This is the Magical Reader sticker. I genuinely have to do this to help it focus. I'm not being corny or anything, but yeah, this is so cute. It has a little moon, you know, for like the whole fantasy thing. I want to stick it down, but I'm a bit too scared, so I've been keeping it in the back of my iPad case. This is the Romance Reader sticker, which is a lovely shade of red with obviously a heart in the back, because romance and love and whatnot. But yeah. Oh, and it's now working on its own. It actually wants to focus, but yeah, these are the two stickers that I really loved. I briefly mentioned how they now have a like slip case for bookmarks. As you can see, you can put more than one in and have them like facing outwards. On the back it has the little Title Pieces like logo, which is so cute. This one is a bit more it's not as transparent as the other side. This one's shiny, whereas this one's like kind of a matte look, which is great because this kind of makes it look frosty and cold, which, you know, suits the color scheme of this bookmark. But it also comes, there are 4 like different tassel options. This is the rose gold one that you can tie on. I also was sent a silver one, which is perfect because that goes really well with the fantasy bookmark. But there's also just the gold option and black if you're interested in buying all of them or just some of them. And lastly is this really cute metal bookmark, still in the plastic. I haven't had the chance to use it yet just because I want to use it for like books with thicker pages so it doesn't like dent it, because anything like that's magnet or metal tends to kind of like dent or like bend the pages. But it's so cute. There we go. So it's very shiny, as you can see. It has a crescent moon in the cloud, and then down the middle part it's got phases of the moon. Then on the other side it has the Title Piece logo, of course. But yeah, it's just so adorable. I've already taken some photos and I'll be posting them soon, or will have by the time this video is up. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if it was a bit weird and not filmed like my other ones, but I still hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you look forward to my next video, which will definitely be my August TBR right before I leave for New York. That will be my last like bookish video for a bit probably.